We begin with major developments in a Target 12 investigators exclusive. Embattled former state rep John Carnevale pleads no contest in a case that he lied about where he lived.
The case erupted from a Target 12 undercover investigation in 2016. Carnevale pleaded to one felony count of perjury and was sentenced today by a judge.
And Target 12 investigator Tim White was in the courtroom and joins us now in studio. And Tim, this sentence that Carnevale received means he can no longer run for office, which he was planning on?
That's right. He had announced he was running again for re-election. By law, any sentence greater than 6 months means someone is ineligible to run for re-election. In a striking bit of irony, John Carnevale was sentenced to 9 months of home confinement.
You have no story here.
Okay, tell me why.
Whatsoever.
Tell me why.
No story.
From no story to no contest.
I do.
Former lawmaker John Carnevale accepting a plea deal, admitting there was enough evidence to prove he lied to Providence election officials about where he lived.
That is my signature.
Judge Bennett Gallo accepting the plea deal and sentencing Carnevale to 5 years, 9 months of that to serve on home confinement, the rest on probation. Carnevale's lawyer William Dimitri declined to say where Carnevale would actually serve his sentence.
I know where he's going to be staying, but we'll let the court know.
Well, he's no longer required to stay in Providence anymore because he's not running. So
that's correct.
Carnevale is best known for this infamous Target 12 undercover video after he apparently spotted our undercover cameras while he was at a house he owned outside the district he represented.
He thinks it's in his best interest. It's in the best interest of the constituents of District 13, 13, right? And best interest of the people at the State House, whom he admires and respects.
You have no story.
Carnevale was forced from office following the Target 12 report, but announced earlier this summer he was seeking his old seat back. And as we said, that re-election bid is now over. The Secretary of State's office says they are removing his name from the ballot for the September 12th primary. New at 6, we examine when Carnevale would be able to run for office again if he wanted to. Steve, Shannon?
Well, so Tim, you said this was obviously a plea deal. So
Right.
What did Carnevale get out of this?
Well, right. He pleaded guilty to one felony count of perjury, but you have to remember he was indicted on 4 charges. Under the deal, 3 others were dropped, and he ran a higher risk of facing actual prison time if he were found guilty at trial.
All right, Tim White, thank you so much. Right now, first at 6, major new developments in a Target 12 investigators exclusive. A legal about-face for former state rep John Carnevale.
He has pleaded no contest in a criminal case that he lied to election officials about where he lived.
Now, this case burst onto the scene after a Target 12 undercover investigation in 2016. It has been a stunning fall from grace for the once powerful lawmaker.
And Target 12 investigator Tim White was in court. He joins us now live in studio. Tim, as this case was moving forward, it appeared to be going for a trial. He was also running to get a seat back.
Yeah, Steve, we had no idea what was going to happen when we walked into the courtroom today. In the end, Carnevale struck a deal with prosecutors, pleading guilty to one felony count of perjury. 3 other charges were dropped. It also means for now, his political career is over.
You have no story.
From no story to no contest.
That is my signature.
Former Providence lawmaker John Carnevale admitting there was enough evidence to prove he lied to election officials about where he lived. Judge Bennett Gallo sentencing the former vice chair of House Finance for Speaker Nicholas Mattiello to 5 years, 9 months of home confinement, the rest on probation. Bill, why the change of heart for your client?
Well, I mean, long story short, we've been dealing with this, or he's been dealing with this since 2016.
Carnevale attorney William Dimitri says his client came to the decision just this week.
I think public service is in his blood and politics is in his blood, and I think he'll miss it.
Carnevale is best known for this Target 12 undercover video after he apparently spotted our undercover cameras while he was at a house he owned outside the district he represented.
I thought justice has been served.
John Marion of good government group Common Cause Rhode Island says by law, Carnevale can't run for office until 3 years after his sentence is complete. Carnevale had announced earlier this year he was seeking his old seat back.
That is a big deal. And the intent of the framers of the state constitution was to create some separation between people who are convicted of felonies and public office.
So when can Carnevale run again for office if he wanted to? Since it's a 5-year sentence, most of that on probation, the 3-year clock starts ticking when he's done. That means by law, he is ineligible to run for office for about 8 years. Steve?
And Tim, this whole investigation was about where John Carnevale lived. And as you pointed out at 5 o'clock, ironically, his sentence is to serve home confinement.
Right, yes.
So what home are we talking about here?
Well, it's a good question, and the answer is we don't know. Carnevale's lawyer said he doesn't want to share where Carnevale will be living, but he is no longer obligated to live in Providence because he's not running for office. I should note, Stephen Shannon, that the Attorney General's office, they were seeking prison time in this case.
All right. Tim, thank you.